How old are you then?
Rich what, Richmond?
Yeah.
How old are you then?
We want to put that one on record, or
Nah,
we
chill,
don't have
brother.
to. We don't
How
have to.
about what year did you graduate?
well, then
Well,
people will still know exactly
Yeah.
how old I am.
I mean, you don't gotta be 18 when you graduate, but I get your
That's
point.
fair,
I
that's
get your
fair.
point.
No,
I get your point.
I don't care. I'm 33.
Okay.
I always put it with
Because-
caution because everybody thinks I'm way younger, and
Well, I did too, but
Yeah.
I figured like sometimes you can tell also like just based on like what you've accomplished too, right?
right.
That's the thing. Like I'm 32. That's
Yeah.
I was just wondering
I'm a
why you
kid.
guys. Because you guys, I was
I was
like,
2010 graduate,
I was like,
so
you-
I would have
okay.
been. I would have
I was
graduated
like,
probably
you
before.
you
well
must
before.
be 4 or 5 years older than him, or 5 or 6 years older than him.
Because
at
when did you
least.
graduate?
2018.
Oh yeah, see, I was already gone for 8 years.
Yeah.
But then, so I guess that means then, though, if I was just a bit younger, or you were just a bit, like even by a couple years, I guess you would have had to been
Yeah.
about 4 years off. Yeah. So
Welcome to the Vybe podcast.
Hey, Vybe Fam, thanks for tuning in. We got YBK.
Yo,
I'm Ostentatious, and we got Terence,
yo,
DJ Ruiz.
local legend in the city. Actually,
what up?
Yeah, how do you prefer to introduce yourself?
I don't know. I switched my artist and producer name to my last name, Ruiz, and even now it's just as difficult as it was before because then I'm like introducing myself and I'm like, oh, it's my last name, but my first name is Terence, and so it's whatever people want to go. Yeah, Terence Ruiz is my name though.
That's what's up. That's
Yeah.
what's up.
it's funny when I'm texting YBK about you and Derek or whatever. I'll sometimes refer to you as Terence. I'll sometimes refer to you as Ruiz, and I'll like go back and forth.
yeah. No, that's chill.
yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, I feel like all artists have that like challenge, you know, where it's like, you know, your name, your artist name, you know, and everything else in between.
Yeah, I mainly just wanted to focus on like, because I do so many different things that I was like, I don't really want to have like a rap name or anything anymore. I got tired of being like, this is my name, but this is my artist name and this is whatever. So that's why I switched to Ruiz, just being my last name. So at least it's still, there's no specific brand to it. It's just like I am the brand, whether it's producing, DJing, making this type of music or that type of music.
Right.
It's just me.
That's fine, man. Personally, I fuck with DJ Ruiz.
Yeah.
I think that's
Dope.
hard. Yeah.
But yeah, for a long time I wasn't gonna put the DJ in front of it, but then people were getting confused what I was doing, so I've been doing DJ Ruiz lately for just for my DJ gigs anyway.
Makes sense.
Speaking of that,
Yeah,
all the different stuff you do, can we like jump right into it? Because that's one of the questions we have
let's
is
do it.
right, like DJ, rapper, producer, which came first?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, what's the chronology of like what got you into music, and then sort of like what stuck with you the most, and like what do you like doing the most too?
Word.
2-part question.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, funny story actually is it all actually started from beatboxing. That was like the first thing I ever did.
Oh, I didn't even know
music wise. Yeah, it was
Okay.
just like, I don't know, I guess like when you're a kid, like this would have been like grade 6, grade 7, even like when you're like really impressionable and whatnot from what your friends are doing. And I had a homie and he was beatboxing in junior high school, and I was like, wow, that's cool, I could do that, you know. So I just started kind of messing around with that, and it was like this kind of popular thing that we were doing around the school, and people were like, oh cool, like, you know. And then from there we kind of started, he was also writing some rhymes and stuff, and I was like, well, I could do that. Like, but I always loved rap music. Like, rap music has been with me since I was like a child and stuff. I listened to it like a lot of different genres growing up, but rap, kind of anything high energy, and as we know, a lot of rap, even the chill stuff, is pretty high energy.
Yeah.
So anything that's high energy like that and got a bit of that oomph to it has always stuck with me. So rap being a big one of those. And yeah, so then that's how I got into rapping. And so I would have been like 13, 14. And, you know, you can't really afford to be like going to studios, or you don't even really know where studios would be. So
Facts.
I just got some like cheap equipment and stuff. And through like, you know, my part-time job, Christmases, birthdays, whatever, slowly started piecing together what I needed. And so I was recording myself just out of necessity because, like I said, I didn't know where to go. I didn't have enough money. You know, slowly you can build a small studio setup, but like to actually go to the studio regularly when you're a kid is just not very viable. So I just was recording myself out of necessity. And over time, people would hear my stuff, and eventually people would start, when you start getting older, people start finding their own hobbies too. And now they're making music, and they're like, well, who records your stuff? And I was like, oh, I do. And they're like, oh, they're like, you should let me come over and record my stuff. And I was like, okay, sure, why not?
Yeah.
So for a while there, I had a bunch of people coming to like my mom's basement and stuff, and just recording for everybody. And then as I got busier and more in demand, I started being like, well, maybe I should charge for this a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So
Right.
that's kind of how my whole career took off, and basically from there I started, charging for that. And then I started working like with more in the city, and then I started, then once you're like 18, you could start going to shows. So I started networking with people and everything, and I had been doing like having my own clients for a while and stuff, but it was never like a full-time gig up until a few years ago when I started working with Derek. But me and him go way back too, probably like 10 years, like maybe even more now. And he helped me like produce and mix and master my first album and stuff. And so we go way back. And then about 3 years ago, maybe even 4 now, he hit me up and was just saying like, I need somebody to help take on some of these clients. Like he can't handle all the recording that was coming in. So it was like, I'll handle recording, he'll handle mixing, even though I still do my own mixes as well too. But just in our relationship, that's how it was at first. Anyways, we're much more in a partnership now, but that was the initial kind of start. And then after a while, it was just busy enough that I was able to, do it full switch and make the full-time jump. And, here I am here at the new CTRL Space Records. And it's been a sweet journey. And
the rest is history.
Yeah. And then DJing came along kind of similar to how mixing and recording came along. It was just sort of out of necessity for like the people I was already working with. Like, one of the first times I actually did like just DJing was actually with Havs, and she was like, I need somebody who can at least run my music, and like maybe you can do some hype man stuff, because we had already been performing before, but not as like in that sort of way, like DJ artist way, because we made songs together like on our Easy Click days and through our own solo collaborations and stuff. But we went to Toronto for this showcase through Manitoba Music. It was Manitoba Music Export. And it was literally just me with a laptop and like just sitting on a little like small little chair like this, like low to the ground with just a little laptop in the back while she was performing. And that was like my first DJ experience. And then that later that year, post-war, hit me up and was like, hey, I need somebody to run tracks for my artists like at this show that he was doing. Could you do that? And do you think you would be down to like just like play some music in between? And I was like, and he was like paying me for it, and I was like, well, sure. I'm like, if I'm gonna do this though, I'm gonna do it like legit. So at first I was literally gonna just be like a Spotify DJ and just like fade in and out and pick like good songs and just like, because that's the main battle of DJing, is just picking the right music. Right. The transitions and all that are extra, but I was like, well, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it for real. So I bought this tiny little deck thing, just a little guy. It was like $100 or something, and I did it that night, and it was really fun. And people were like coming up and being like, oh man, you playing bangers? And I was like, oh, this is really cool. It's like a whole nother energy that's different than performing and stuff. And so that sort of just came out of necessity as well. And then over time, I've done it more and more and fell in love with it. And I just do it all the time now, and it's dope. But to answer the last part of your question, what I like doing the most, I mean, there's different things I like about all of it, and it sort of just depends where I'm at that time. Like, I probably like performing in any capacity the best. I like being like the energy with people and stuff, and like being in front of a crowd and showing off your work and stuff. Whether it's DJing or like performing original music, it's like they're both stressful in different ways. There's pressure that comes from both sides of it. But yeah, I think I like performing the most, but that's also why I really like engineering for people, because I like the exchange of energy. Like, I'm not a huge fan of like sitting in front of my computer for hours just by myself, but sometimes it's got to get done. So
yeah, it's things like you put energy into it and you get energy out of it, right? It's always the balance.
Yeah, definitely. But sure, anything to do with like working with people directly is some of my favorite stuff.
Man, there's so much good shit in all you said, man. Let's break it. Let's break it apart. Yeah, let's
do it.
Okay, first, so I think the first time I seen you DJ was at Adiu's release party.
Oh yeah. At the last CTRL Space.
Yeah, this is probably like a year ago. Yeah. And then I also saw you at the WAG. You did a couple at the WAG.
For Len. Yeah. Shout out Len Bowen.
Yeah. And I remember like first time I seen it, I was like, whoa, like, you know what I mean? Like because the first time I met you was at private year, with Eric, like probably back in like 2021.
Yeah.
And back then it was just like, just working on like mixes and stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like, and like even it feels like I'm always finding out new things about you. Like when I was at the Just TV program, I was like, oh, Terence used to be. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And then I seen pictures of you when you were young. I was like, no way, that's Terence, bro. That's wild. That's
the BNC, man.
Yeah, man. Like that's such an amazing program, man. It's so underrated.
I loved all my years there. It was a great time. Yeah.
When did you begin at BNC?
I think it's a little bit hard. I think it was 2013, and I worked there for 10 years.
Damn.
Yeah, it was only into about 2023 when I quit, when I started going pretty hard in the studio, and it got to a point. It was nothing against like the program or anything. It just, I was finding myself splitting. Like, I felt I couldn't give 100% in either way, and I felt like both jobs deserved the 100%. And I decided to lean into this side because, the studio, like working with youth, and that has always been like super incredible. It's very rewarding. However, the way I kind of looked at it, I was like, well, I gave a good amount of time. I put a decade in, and I gave a lot to the community.
Yeah.
And I received a lot back too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I was like, it's time for me to focus solely on my first goal, which was always basically this. I mean, other than being like just a musician in general,
right.
I always envisioned some level of having my own professional studio and running that and working full time within the music industry. So that's when I quit, when I just started, and it started getting really busy. Honestly, it was hard for me to balance.
Man, like that's so beautiful, man. Like I love what you said about giving back to the community. I respect that a lot.
Thank you.
And it's I feel like in a lot of sense you're living like an artist's dream.
That's what we're trying. Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? Like not a lot of people get paid for their work. Not a lot of people get to do it full time.
Yeah.
And one thing I really admire about you is how you like consistently reinvent yourself.
Hey.
You know what I mean? Like like it's there are a lot of like talented folks out there, and you kind of just see folks kind of like fade out in and out, and stuff and shit. I try not to do it. Like I feel, what I mean? I feel like that's a shot to myself too, because like I haven't dropped music in a while. You know what I mean? But it's like, I really respect like your hustle and your grind, man.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah,
and I appreciate that it's noticed, because I work hard on this, and my main thing that I've always looked at is like, because I work with a lot of different artists, and everybody's different in how they approach things. And like the one thing that I tell a lot of people, because we all get nervous about like how active we are, and we should be more active, and I should be dropping all the time and blah blah blah.
Right.
And while that might be true for sure, I've always looked at it like, and I'm different than other people too, but like I'm a good example. It's like I haven't dropped an album since 2020. Right. I dropped some singles 22, 23 kind of era, whatever.
Right.
But I haven't dropped like a full cohesive project and went on like a full artist run for like 5 years.
Right.
But yet we're sitting here talking right now, and you're saying how you respect my grind. So I'm out here. People still know I'm active. You know what I mean? I think the line gets drawn when you're not even anywhere at all. Like you could be, not like, if you're not putting out music, it's like, then you sure as hell better be out in the field and going to shows and networking and communicating. Because like for me, it's like I'm networking at all these different events to the point where I know now that if I go through and try to apply for this or go for that, or I try to reach out, they're going to know already. They're going to be, oh, you're putting out an album? Like it's almost like better now. It's instead of like trying to, it's kind of reinventing the wheel and staying active of like doing the same thing but just different, right? And sometimes that helps with the DJing or the engineering, and sometimes I feel like maybe I spread myself thin, but you just got to know when you're like doing that, and just consolidate a little bit, and just like I said, staying active in more ways than one, because it's hard. It's hard to be like, I'm going to drop like I've seen tons of artists do the whole I'm dropping every week or I'm dropping every month, and it's like it only can last so long, because we're not, even for someone like me who does music full time, I couldn't even handle that workload. Right. I'd have to be like strictly just a writing, rapping artist, and that's it. Right. Then I could do that.
Right.
Well, you can drop hot garbage every week.
You could do that too. Exactly.
The thing is, but actually, like it's about a quality release plan, right?
For sure.
We're really we're really big on networking also. Like that's why
I mean,
part of
it's
the
in
reason
Vibe Network, baby.
It's right in the name,
part
right?
of the
Yeah,
reason
yeah.
why we did that. And
Yeah.
but one thing and that's been really fulfilling too, and I've noticed the changes happening in my own life personally too, but putting myself out there, getting to know people. And but what I've noticed about you and Derek since I started working with you, which was when we threw that show at Control Space, which was
About a year ago.
which was our second event, but our first showcase.
Yes.
And you guys are super collaborative and communicate well. And I think a lot of people could learn lessons from that. Like, I think
This guy has a personal vendetta.
No, I think there's more value in that than people realize, because that is part of the reason why we are in this situation that we're in right now, where we're working with you and we're helping each other out. Because if that foundation wasn't established in that sort of like way, then we might have ended up somewhere else, right? Like that's just how things work when you actually like communicate well with people and like put your energy out there in a real way, right?
Yeah.
So it's
absolutely, man.
Yeah, we try to be like, it's hard because music is so not to play out the words here, but it's so vibe heavy. Like music is all about the vibe. You know, and I'm sure you guys have seen it too, where it's like you're trying to run a professional business, you're trying to move forward and do it for real. You know, and not to say if you're not making money, you're not doing it for real. I just mean you're trying to build a business where that's part of the goal, is to make money. Of course, there's other goals that go with it, but at the end of the day, for a business to be successful, it has to make money. Not only make money, it has to make profit, right? So it's hard to sometimes with music to find that line between being a professional business, but also still building that community, right? So I think the biggest thing that we try to do is, because we have to charge, or else like this building is not free. You know what I'm saying? We have to charge, and if we're gonna do it full time, which is how I've always looked at it, I'm like, I love doing music so much. How can I do music all the time without struggling? Well, you just have to do it full time. And how do you do it full time? You got to get paid for it, or else it's not. You can't do it full time, right? Or else you have to get a job. So that was always my philosophy. And with Derek and I, it's like we try to make our prices really competitive and like fair for people for what we think is the right value, but at the same time not go out of our way. Like there's a lot of times that people will hit us up and think that we're going to charge like way more, and they're like, oh wow, you guys are actually really cheap. There's other times where people are like, oh, that's expensive, but we're like, well, we know it's actually not expensive. It's just a misinformation at this point. So we try to do that and be really competitive with our pricing. But the other thing that we really try to do is, going above and beyond with, is like you said, that communication. Like we've probably all felt that at some point, where you're reaching out to, whether it's a person or a business or whatever, somebody you're trying to work with, and they're just not giving you anything extra. They're just barely answering your questions and call it a day. We don't really do that. Like we'll answer your questions and give feedback on top of like, hey, well, maybe this, maybe, oh, if this is your budget and this is what you're looking for. Okay, well, we could actually do like this, and this, which I think would cover it, but maybe not this part. But, that part isn't maybe as important as these anyway. So this is your sort of best way to go about it. And that makes the client feel like they can trust you, because you're actually considering their work.
Yeah. Makes
versus
them feel
just
valued.
trying to get the check,
Yeah.
And on the other side of things, I'm not trying to excuse, like, but devil's advocate, like if 100 people a week are reaching out to you and only like one or two of them are following through, that can be annoying. So on the person receiving messages end, like I get why people get tired of replying. I get it. It's just, or
just quick little, this is what it is, but see you later.
But if you chose to go into a business where communication is important, and almost every business that is the case, I can't think of very many where it wouldn't be. It's it's tough. It's really tough with that.
Man. It's it's interesting as well, like with us starting Vybe Network, like my philosophy is, I would love to like be able to put on events. I would love to be able to like do like initiatives, record podcasts, workshops, interviews, whatever it is, right? I would love to do all of those for free. If I genuinely could, if we could afford it, I would love to do all of those for free. And that was a big part of why we like incorporated as a non-profit, so we could have like bigger access to grants and funding and things like that. So it's like we can do these things for free, you know what I mean?
I mean,
but
that's
it's
the
like,
dream, right?
That is the dream.
That's kind of how I'm looking at it. It's like of course I have to right now. But I'm slowly, things are moving now, and I'm starting to get closer to being out of like having to just take work because I need work. But at the end of the day, you got to pay your bills, right? So it's like eventually the goal for me is to have a few more higher, bigger budget things so that I'm covered, and then I can start doing things more for fun. And if an artist that I really like is like, yo, like, I want you to produce my record, it's like I can do it for like a really cheap rate and be like, oh, just give me some points and it's cool. But like right now, I can't afford to do that.
Yeah, you got to build towards that.
Yeah, but that's the goal, is to eventually, like we've started getting heavy into this publishing side of things, and so far it's paying well. And it's like if it can really grow into something big, it's like Derek and I might not even have to ever actually be in the studio doing sessions again. Like we still will and whatever, because it's what we do, but I could actually focus more on just being like, yo, Friday I'm just gonna come in and I'm just gonna cook for like 8 hours, and I'm just not gonna worry about it because everything's paid, everything's covered, it's all good, right? That's the goal. And then I can take that music and for myself or collab with one of you guys or whatever, right? And just not have to stress about like, okay, what's your budget, how much you pay, how much time you need, like whatever, right? And trying to make it work. But that
would be so nice, eh?
Yeah. That's the dream right there. And like I said, it's getting to that point, and it's there's ways that I can always, like I said, we work with budgets all the time. Yeah. So we are kind of doing that already, but there's a line that we can't exactly cross, and I feel the same way, where it's like it'd be sweet to just be like, yeah, you want to just come in and rent the studio for a bit and just do your thing, cool, whatever, just whatever. It'd be cool to kind of get to that point, but at the end of the day, a business is a business, and it has to be run like such. I mean, it's all great points. To pivot a little bit, like honestly, like I think you and Derek, there are very few people or companies in the city where I'm like, y'all deserve your credits and y'all deserve your props. You know what I mean? Like but I think like y'all contribute so much to the industry here in Winnipeg and the community, and just like giving back and building it, but it's like I know you've done a few things outside of the city. You mentioned going to Toronto with Halves, and one of the questions we wanted to ask, what have you noticed, like the differences between industries in other cities versus like here in Winnipeg? Well, I feel like I haven't seen it's. Maybe I'm just biased because my experience is like, I've done like a couple tours through Canada, and I've done a couple like networking events that are in like different cities and stuff too. But I feel like a lot of it is very similar. Like it feels very much just the same. Like that's why I've even like I don't really get it too much, like when people hate on like Winnipeg in general. Like I get it, I get whatever, but like when people, like especially like musicians trying to be like, oh, Winnipeg sucks, it's like the amount of times that I've heard people from Toronto or Vancouver come here and be like, oh my god, this is your scene, this is incredible, this is way better than Toronto or Vancouver, like a lot. Like I've heard it a lot. It's not an uncommon thing, like that Winnipeg has some of the like best supporting communities out there,
because it's not at the point where it's too big that you just get drowned out by the noise.
Exactly. And you don't feel like you're like, there's no, it's like it's too small to be big fish in a small pond, but it's too big to feel like there's no opportunity, like what I'm saying, like it's like right in that perfect middle ground. So I feel like I feel like underground music in general is just kind of the same everywhere you go. Like I felt like when I communicate with the artists from other cities, that it's like it just sounds very much the same of what everybody here is going through as well. I would say in places like Toronto, where it's more big city vibe, it gets a little more, maybe a little more, I don't want to say cutthroat, but there's there's more competition, and things are more expensive, and they cost more, venues cost more, like everything is more expensive. So it's almost like because of that, there's almost less of that sort of community happening, because it's not as accessible as somewhere like Winnipeg, where you have affordable venues that you can go to and stuff, and it's small enough that people can still, everybody kind of knows each other a little bit, you know what I mean? But it all feels very similar. I'd say like some of the energy from the crowds are different, and I can't exactly put my finger on which ones are which, but it's like, we did a show in Vancouver, and it was very like hipster and kind of like quiet, and sort of everyone was just kind of like very like whatever. And then we did one in like Regina, and it was like a smaller crowd, but they were like 10 times as lit. So it was like it was just kind of like it just varies from place to place, I guess. And and maybe Regina being a smaller town, maybe it's that sort of similar thing where it's like they don't get that much going on, so they're like, "What's happening here? Oh my god!" And they give 110%, right? But I feel like underground everywhere. It's just like you talk to people, and it's just like I can't even tell that you're from somewhere else. You know what I mean? If you're in the underground, maybe if we're talking more, I'm not mainstream yet, so I don't know if maybe I wouldn't be surprised if it starts to change out there, but when you're doing shows in Toronto, it's a little more busy, and there's the potential of someone from a big record label being in the audience and stuff. So the pressure's on a little bit, but I don't know. Musicians are musicians.
Okay. Yeah. Just a follow-up question on that. In other cities, like, because like I know in like the prairie provinces, like Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and what was the other one? Alberta. Like they get one of like the biggest fundings in terms of like arts and entertainment, right? And so it's like companies like here in Manitoba, like companies like Creative Manitoba, Manitoba Music, even the BNC, right? Those companies do exist, do other cities have that?
Yeah, I heard a little bit of something. That's the thing, I haven't done enough research myself. But to answer your question without any detail, yes, they do. So which is cool. And I think that's Canada in general. I think Canada just like that's part of our like the Canadian culture is like arts from like all different walks of life, right? Like there's so much rich history of cultures and things that I think with music specifically, it's such a huge point. And I think that's like because like in the States and stuff, like they don't have music grants, like those just don't exist. And you tell people from the States that, they're like, what? They're like, people do they just give you money? It's like, well, I mean, you got to do a lot of work, but they'll give you it. And then they're like, what the, like they're just blown away. So that's not common around the world, but in Canada I think it's pretty popular.
We're super blessed for arts in Canada.
And that's the thing, that's what I'm saying. When people hate on Canada or Winnipeg or anything, it's like, dude, it's like you're in such a good opportunity right now, you just haven't tapped into all the market.
You have to go live somewhere else for a bit to appreciate it.
I go to tons of beautiful places, and I mean that's probably just where because of where I live here, but I always get homesick, like you know. Sometimes I'm like, wow, it'd be really nice to live here. But then after being there for a week, you're like, I'm ready to go home.
This is my first summer in Winnipeg for 3 years. Like I've spent the last 3 summers in Edmonton. And I am like so excited to spend a summer in Manitoba. Like I can't even explain to you guys how excited I am.
Winnipeg is cool, man. Like I said, it's not small enough to be boring, but it's not big enough to be like busy and chaotic. I mean, it can be, of course, you know how the city gets, but. And there's, no city is without its problems, but
I think you can find like those supportive groups in every city. But in my experience, like in Edmonton, when I was trying to sort of integrate myself into the music scene, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go out alone and just like see like which crowds I can talk to. And it felt like there was a lot more groups that were like closed off and that were kind of like but then the next day they were like So but in Winnipeg, I feel like those supportive crowds are easier to find.
Kind of easy to make friends. Friendly Manitoba, right? Like,
no, for sure.
Because that's how I feel. It's like if I'm at a show and somebody I don't know comes up to me and is like, yo, I'm a musician, it's like there's multiple things going through my head at once. There's the business side, there's the artist side, there's whatever, but all of them point to why would I shun this person out? If it's business, could be a potential client. If it's an artistry thing, they might be the dopest rapper I've never heard before, and we can set something up in the future, or singer or guitar player or whatever, right? They might have connections. They might, like I said, just be super talented, and you'd be like, what the heck? Like, we got to put you on a stage. Like, there's so many positive reasons to do it, and even if you want to take it to its strictest form of just like karma is real, right? And like you can, whatever way you want to look at it, it's like you put out good energy to people and you're just whatever, it's like it'll come back to you at some point. I'm not stressing when, but if it's like an art, because I also remember what it was like being an artist and not knowing what's up and not knowing anyone and whatever. It's like, I'm still learning to this day. So it's like having people being willing to be like, yeah, what's up? What do you do? Oh, cool. And like actually give you the time of day and whatever, I'm not saying we shouldn't be like somewhat have some standards and whatnot. We don't need to throw that out the window, but but give everyone the shot.
Give people a chance.
That's for
real.
You never know what you're missing, right?
Man, that's what's up. That was really wholesome. Artists out there, man, tap in, man. Don't hate on your city, man. Just lots of opportunities, especially if you're in Canada. You know.
Yeah, man. Industry folks, give people a chance. Like, don't break your own bank, but you know.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like if you're in industry and you're like your job is to be working and scouting for talent.
Yeah.
Why would you ever turn any opportunity away? You never know what's on the other side, right? Until you check. Sometimes that's bit me in the ass though, and now I have to sit through Joe Schmo's terrible rap song. But I mean, hey, whatever. Like, it's worth it. It's all.
Was that a random name or the actual person?
No, that's
okay.
The made up.
Okay. I was like, no way, bro. Like, shots been fired.
No, I wouldn't actually.
Nah, dude. Nah.
It's happened.
That's not how it works.
Just a random John Doe.
We'll talk about it off the record.
Yeah, that's off camera. That's where you sign up for that's the Patreon. You know.
Yeah. You gotta subscribe for that. Yeah. That's funny. Okay. I wanted to ask you a bit because when I was at the BNC, I found out that Jane was your sister.
Yeah.
And then eventually we did a show with Jane and Dahlia, and Dahlia is also your sister.
Yeah.
And I'm like, does like your whole family just do music? Like, do you guys grow up like in a musical family where everyone is like Christmas, like fucking caroling, like, you know what I mean?
Really. Not exactly.
Like, how did that happen?
Probably a mix of things. Like, I don't know what exactly, but the thing is, I probably had some influence there because I'm what's the age difference? There's quite a big age difference between like me and like Aaliyah and Dahlia, or Jane. Sorry, my bad. Jane and Dahlia are a lot closer in age, like by like 2 years. But I'm 12 years older than Jane. 10. I have a lot of siblings, so I get mixed up sometimes.
Okay.
But so there's a pretty big generational gap there.
Right.
But you know, they definitely would have seen me doing like my thing a little bit, and you know, probably thought that was cool and whatever. And my dad was like would always play guitar and stuff around the house, and you know, he wasn't like a crazy player, but he could play, and he would sing a little bit and whatever. And you know, just even our Latin roots and stuff too. There's always music around in the house and stuff, and so I don't know exactly why or where we all got it from. Like, I just liked the idea. I think I just really wanted attention, and I liked music a lot. So, and people would hear my stuff and be like, "Wow, that's really cool," and I'd be like, "Oh, that feels nice." And so I just kept, you know, you just feel, so I just kept doing it and whatever. And I don't know, you just kind of, everybody does something, you know, people, sports, music, art, whatever, right? Like, whatever it ends up being. Mine just happened to be that because I was just in love with music and performing and being on stage and stuff. I like that feeling, and when you get that sort of, when you make something that's respected by others, it's like, yeah, sure, it's not for other, you know, but it feels good, feels nice. It's anything. You wear a sick outfit and someone compliments on you, you're like, yeah, it is a sick outfit, you know. So it's the same thing with like music, right? Like, it's the same, you know, when you get that sort of validation, it does feel nice. And I liked it. So, and then for with the family, like, I don't know, Jane she just started picking up, like, she started like singing in the basement and stuff. I remember she would always mess around and sing random Disney songs and whatever, and then she started playing guitar, and then Dahlia, she's always loved music as well, more vintage, retro kind of 60s music.
Yeah, they have their unique styles, but I can honestly say, like, they're both good artists. Like, they're good.
They're super talented.
They're good songwriters.
Yeah, they're super talented.
Yeah, Jane has this one song she performs with a band, and it's so fire, man.
Yeah,
it's so fire.
Yeah. They've been working really hard.
That's awesome, man.
Working hard and grinding. Whoops.
Do any of your other siblings make music?
My sister on my mom's side, Casey, she doesn't make music super regularly, but I know she was making some music, and she actually went through some of the after school leaders program and summer music camp programs and stuff when she was of age. Now she's aged out of it, so she's not doing those anymore, but she used to do them, and we would make music and stuff, and she's a good writer and singer, and I think she plays ukulele a little bit. I think, I can't remember now, but she doesn't do it, like, at least that I know of. Maybe she's still doing it, but she doesn't like put them out or anything like that.
That's dope, man.
But so there's some music in the fam.
So, but you're the oldest sibling?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm the oldest of. So my parents had me, and then they had their own families after. So and then 3 siblings on each side.
Okay.
So I have 6 younger siblings.
Yeah, that's a bit of a contrast to my situation. I'm the only person in my family that does music. I think.
Oh, really?
Maybe you are too.
Yeah, I guess.
So how did you, what made you guys even make music? That's what I'm saying. It just happens. I don't know.
I don't like my earliest memory of like songwriting is like just being a kid and just like cutting the grass or something and like making lyrics or melodies in my head. And can't tell you what came first, whether it was lyrics or melodies, but I've always worked with both. And now even in my modern songwriting, sometimes I come up with the melody first. And I'm like, oh, that melody's so cool, and then the words just start forming. Yeah, it's just one of those ADHD things, right? we're all neurodivergent artists, right? Like that's just the reality of being a music artist. Like everyone I talk to has some sort of like neurotic condition or something. Yeah. I don't know.
With me, I think like started off, very very typical, basic, writing poetry as a kid. And then my parents signed me up for music lessons because I think they kind of saw that I was more like musically tuned. So
music lessons. What did you take?
Like drums and cool. And bass. I sucked at bass, so I stuck with drums.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I ended up.
That's
like,
why I rap then, because of drums and poetry, I guess. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I ended up like playing drums at church, playing drums at school, jazz band, concert band, all that stuff.
Cool.
Picked up a couple more instruments, clarinet, trombone. And like after high school is when I was like, man, because like I went to the most lit school, man. We would be like in the cafeteria, like just like freestyling or like bumping music like on a big ass speaker.
Yeah,
which
school did you go to?
I went for Richmond Collegiate, man.
Centurions. So did I.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
God damn, that's fire. So that explains.
I wasn't sure because I think I remember you were saying something about Southside or whatever. So I was like,
man,
you went to FRC?
Yeah, man, I love the Southside. Man. Like I'm like the biggest rep of Southside.
So how old are you then?
Richmond?
Yeah.
How old are you then?
We want to put that one on record, or
we don't have to. How about what year did you graduate?
Well, then people will still know exactly how old I am.
I mean, you don't gotta be 18 when you graduate, but I get your point.
Fair,
I get your point.
No, I don't care. I'm 33.
Okay.
I always put it with caution because everybody thinks I'm way younger. And
well, I did too, but I figured like sometimes you can tell also like just based on like what you've accomplished too, right?
Right.
That's the thing. Like I'm 32. And so I was just
I'm
wondering why you guys.
Because
you guys, I was
2010 graduate, so I would have graduated.
I was like,
probably before.
You must be 4 or 5 years older than him, or 5 or 6 years older than him.
Because when did you graduate?
2018.
Oh yeah, see, I was already gone for 8 years.
Yeah.
But then, so I guess that means then, though, if I was just a bit younger, or you were just a bit, like even by a couple of years, I guess you would have had to been about 4 years off. Yeah. So. Yeah. Could have been in the same school.
Yeah.
But I know Sleepy Zay went to.
Yeah, he did.
Well.
Yeah.
I don't know if
and Fiji went to Massey. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. Yeah,
yeah. So I know Sleepy. Yeah, he's only like 2 years younger than me.
Yeah. Crazy world, man.
Yeah.
It's funny though, because not a lot of people were like, when I went, even though the school was very like diverse in culture,
right?
Being a rapper wasn't cool yet.
No.
Like, it was not. And being a white rapper, like, it was even less cool. Like, it was bad. Like, it wasn't, like, super... Like, my memories weren't, like, terrible or anything. Like, I didn't get, like, bullied or whatever for it.
Right.
But, like, people definitely would, like, look at me funny or, like,
right.
be like, what the hell is this guy doing? Like, I wasn't the most popular, let's just say. And,
right.
Because it was before the era of, like, everybody wanting to be, like, a streamer and being, like, a celebrity. People were just, like, thought... I was a loser because they're like, why are you, you're what, filming a music video? Like, what do you think you're doing? Whereas like nowadays, it's like the kids are all lit. Like everybody wants to be in it. Oh, you're filming a music video? Yeah, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's a whole thing. So growing up, it was definitely pretty tough. I feel like I would have done a lot better in like maybe if I was just like, like a few years younger.
Right.
Because it was just on the cusp of when like, you know what I mean? Like Instagram was around and all that was around and stuff. But it wasn't like.
Post Soulja Boy, everything changed, man.
Yeah. Well, I was that's still my era, but it was like it still just wasn't
But
in, like south side of Winnipeg, it was like not cool yet.
But you said you graduated 2010, right? Soulja Boy didn't start popping off till 2010. Like 2010 was like his pick.
It
you know
was
what I mean?
that. What was the song?
Crank That Soulja Boy.
Yeah,
Hey,
so
that was literally 2010.
But I was cranking that Soulja Boy in like maybe he wasn't mainstream yet, but I was still in high school when that was already out. Like, that was already out.
Yeah, it was like grade 9 or 10, or no, grade 10 or 11.
Yeah, so he would have been. It would have been right around that era because I remember watching his whole kind of come up and stuff, and I remember at like the school dances, everybody was doing the dance. So it was around already.
Okay,
for sure.
Everyone
but
was
that's what I
super
mean.
into
It was
that.
like on the cusp of that because I think Soulja Boy started getting popular for me even younger than that. Like when I was in like grade like 9, which would have been like 07.
Oh my.
But for the mainstream appeal and then for it to actually take off and everybody to be like on board, it would have been way past 2010 at that point. You know what I mean? Like once you started getting into like, I think right around like, from what I saw, it was like 2014 to 16 when younger people wanted to be more like influencers.
Man, 2016 was the greatest year of all time.
That's what I'm saying. So I think that around that era is when people actually wanted to do that.
It all went downhill after that.
Versus like people thinking you were weird for doing like stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
You know? Like a lot of people thought I was really weird.
Yeah, like they look at you like, you know, like that kid who like skipped school and like it's like the bad influence type thing.
Yeah, no, that would have been even cooler than what they thought of me, I think.
Oh, damn. Oh, shit.
But no, I feel like it's just like people just thought, you know, like, oh, he's just some wannabe gangster who wants to rap and blah, blah, blah. And like, oh, he just thinks he's a superstar. It's like, not really. I was just making music. And, I knew I needed to make videos on YouTube. And so I was like, okay, that's what I'm going to do and whatever. So I was just doing it.
I guess they never heard of a hobby or
well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Wait. Were you, when you went to FRC, were you at FRC when like there were still like school dances?
Yep.
Oh, damn. Yeah, because I didn't experience that at FRC.
I think they literally had the last one when I was in grade 12. I think I remember them being like, this is the last school dance.
Right, because
kids were getting too lit at the dance.
Kids would go and get drunk and shit.
Yeah,
and
like
it was a bad look. And so they stopped.
When I asked about it, they were like, oh, there used to be like really bad pranks and stuff. And like,
prank
things
day.
used to go, things used to go really
I remember
wrong.
one time, it's so funny actually, I didn't even go to any of the prank days because like, I don't know. That's what I mean. I was just not, I don't know. People thought I was weird. I was just like not into stuff as much. I partied and I did my thing and whatever. And I had a lot of friends and everything like that. But like some of those things I just didn't really, I was just like kind of lazy about it. I was like, do I really want to get up at 6 a.m. and go to school and for prank day? I was like, not really. Plus I was like, a lot of times I'd be like staying at my dad's and my dad lived downtown and I have to take the bus. And I was like, I'm not getting up at 5 a.m. to go put toilet paper on someone's door. Like, I'm not doing it. I just didn't care. But I remember one prank day, one of the kids, he got in like really big trouble for it because it was kind of messed up. But he went to and I don't remember who it was, but he went to a farm and stole a goat, like an actual living goat.
I've heard things about this.
And then they bailed on the idea because they were going to put it in like the office or something.
Right.
And then they bailed on the idea and then left the goat at King's Park. And then it made the news because it was like an abandoned, endangered goat, like, you know, because obviously goats aren't just in the wild of Southside Winnipeg. Like, so they knew it was like stolen. It was like a whole thing. And so that's probably around the time that they were like, hey, this is ridiculous. Like, we're not doing this, you know,
Yeah.
That's funny as fuck.
Yeah.
I heard stories that like a pig got let loose at the high school I went to, but it was before my time. There's always like some farm animal story.
Somebody always takes it too far.
Man, that's funny. All right, okay. Let's pivot a bit, right? You've been in the music scene industry in Winnipeg for some time. Mm-hmm. Have you noticed any like big changes? You know, like any
big changes, like just through the generations, I guess. Kind of just what I was sort of talking on there before was just like the willingness to participate. I think is the biggest thing, which is great. It's good for the content. But like I said, when I was starting out in like, you know, 2007 or whatever it was, people weren't as down for that. Like they weren't like wanting to be like vulnerable, I guess is a good way to put it, and like be on camera and like, oh, like they just thought you're just like being like a wannabe, like I said.
Right.
But now it's so much more. It's like I'll meet people who are young, like much younger, like generation, like a whole nother generation younger than me. And they'll like pull up and they'll have like their friends and like all their friends are just swagged out and everyone's just wearing all this designer and everybody just wants to look like a superstar all the time. It's like when I went to that, when I would pull up to videos where I barely looked like a superstar, and if I had friends with me, most times I would not, because they wouldn't care to go to something like that.
Right.
If I did, they were just wearing random shit. Like nobody was like dressing up to look like a celebrity.
Right.
Now it's like everybody wants to be dripped out and because they want to be on camera and be an influencer. Not even, and I don't even mean that in an arrogant way. I just mean, I guess people are more keen on social media, so they know there's cameras around. They know that, whatever. It's like, I've heard things where it's like, because I've spoken to younger generations where they don't even like dance anymore. Because it's just like everybody's so nervous of being exposed on Instagram, making a fool out of themselves, right? It's like I remember when I'd go to high school parties, it's like there was dedicated dance floors, And then I would talk to some younger folks because, like, when you're in the music industry, you're talking to people from all different generations,
right?
So, and I talk to younger folks and be like, yeah, people just like go to someone's house and they just sit around and just drink a bit and don't do anything, and that's it. And I'm like, that sounds terrible. That sounds
horrible.
It's awful.
Man. Like,
so it's a positive in the music side because everybody wants to be fresh, so you all try to put in the effort to make the video look cool.
Right.
But it's negative on the other side because now people are so like uptight that they don't want to. Everybody wants to be cooler than the next man's instead of just like letting loose.
They
don't
want to be cringe,
man, bro. Like,
nobody wants to be cringe. It's like
I'm an expert at being cringe.
I honestly hate that term. I think cringe is.
It's cringe.
I think cringe is cringe.
It's just a dumb way. It's like you're just embarrassed. Like there's nothing to be, like everybody gets embarrassed. Like people look back at things and like whatever. And like nowadays I look back at myself when I was a kid and I might feel a little bit of some cringe, but at the end of the day I'm just like, but that's just what I was doing at that time. And I was I was a kid. Like it's whatever.
Literally, you were a kid. You were like, you're not supposed to be like this perfect human being. As like you're supposed to make mistakes. You're supposed to be dumb. That's the whole point of being a kid. That's the whole point of being a teenager, right? I feel like, and it's like, man, I graduated in 2018, and it's like I feel so blessed because I feel like I got a chance to experience both worlds. Right. Like me and my friends, we used to host house parties, right, in high school, right, and we actually, that's what I was saying, like 2016 was lit as fuck, bro. Bro, we would have like shit, this might be exposing myself a little bit, but we'll have shakes, bro, and like cops will pull up, like we'll have bush parties and choppers will pull up, you know what I mean? Like, bro,
it gets too lit.
Man, like kids
are the best ones,
man, like kids will be jumping like on top of cop cars, you know what I mean? Like just wilding out, you know what I mean? It's like that doesn't happen no more, man.
No, it doesn't.
Like that, like
we
you
gotta
know what I mean?
show them how.
I remember going to clubs, bro. Like going to a club for the first time, and I was like, bro, what the hell is this? Like what the hell? Like this is not it. Like everyone is standing around, just like in their corner, just doing a little shimmy, and it's just like, bro, like this is not it. Like could we turn up, right? And it's really sad to see that, to see like how like people are so like, I think it's two things. One, like no one wants to look cringe, and two, everyone just has so much social anxiety, man. And it's just like, man, like it's a disease, man. We gotta cure that shit.
The anxiety is real. Like you can feel it in the air sometimes these days, and it's affected everything from just like normal interactions to dating culture to whatever else you can think of in our social world, right? Like it's like when people say like, oh, that gives me the ick. It's like, well, you know what? You give me the ick for saying that. You know what I mean? It's just like, come on, like, can we just be real? Yeah. It is what it is.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. So you say like, other than that, like, not much has changed, really?
I mean, other than like if we're talking specific to Winnipeg, that's something I noticed. But like, other than like the just things they're common, I think, across the board when it comes to music in general, like the accessibility and the ease of being able to open a home studio and stuff. It's like there definitely used to be, and I'm gonna sound like a big old head when I talk like this, but it's true, there used to be much more of a barrier to entry in rap music specifically than there is now, because in my case, when I was doing that, I was like, a bit of an anomaly. Like, sure,
Right.
there's tons of people that had home studios and were doing it. Don't get me wrong, but the ratio from then to now is way different. It was not as common.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
every artist you meet has a home
has
studio.
some sort of home setup of something. Like, it's just such a common thing.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was like not a thing. That's why when I started doing that, and people were like, "Whoa, like let me come record," because it wasn't. You couldn't just go get these like a Scarlett, like they didn't even exist yet.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like all that technology of those simple, modified, very easy to use interfaces is still a relatively new-ish technology, or at the very least, people weren't as hip to it yet.
Right.
So, you know, other than the sort of the barrier to entry changing, because in any generation you're going to hear stuff that's subjectively, you know, bad.
Right.
But I feel like it's maybe a little more common sometimes now, just because it's so easy to do it, and you're not being influenced by other people, which is good and bad.
Yeah.
Good because you get originality, but bad because you have nobody to tell you that shit's whack. You know. So,
fair enough.
Fair enough. You know, you used to have to like really like, and again, you still do, but you used to really have to like impress like a lot of people before you could be like able to even get in the room to do the track. You know what I mean? So it's like, and then if you go back even further to like the 90s, it's like, which I wasn't making music at that time, but it's like from the, you know, I watch a lot of documentaries and research and just like a lot of behind the scenes stuff of studios, and it's like in the 90s and stuff, it's like nobody had a home studio, like nothing, right? So you had to go to a studio, and to go to a studio you had to know somebody, and to know somebody who gave a shit, you had to be good.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? To actually go for it, right?
Be good.
So I think just maybe the barrier to entry has changed a little bit, and that's giving us positive and negative. It's giving us people willing to take huge risks and do really innovative, original stuff, but it's also sometimes giving us people who are kind of whack, and it's just it's, you know, it's a give or take thing, but it's interesting.
To your point there, I think like one of the negatives is just like the game has become very like diluted. You know what I mean? Where it's just like it's just overcrowded. You know what I mean? With anyone just being able to record and upload your music online. You know, there are folks who don't even mix and master your shit. They just like, you know what I mean, put it up, and it's like, for me, I wish I experienced those earlier eras a little bit, because it's like,
because being good doesn't matter as much anymore.
It's like, honestly, like I want to get that validation of, you know what, I know I'm in this room, I know I'm in this place because I earned it, because I deserved it, because you know my shit is fire. You know what I mean, right? And it's like now. It's harder. Like even like talent alone doesn't cut it now. You know what I mean? Like like just all this other aspect that goes into it, like marketing and like you know what I mean, being able to use like social media and like and all these different things, right? Like someone can just like someone wouldn't just like sign you because you're talented. You know what I mean? Like talent alone doesn't cut it.
I think social media is the biggest one right now, honestly, because you can everyone can distribute themselves. Everyone has an interface. Everyone has a home studio. I think understanding social media and, you know, all the terms that we get thrown around, like visual hooks and like what's going to be the most engaging, and learning the algorithm and all that stuff, which I hate so much. But I am learning, and I am trying to figure that out too, and find a way to like it, right? Because like doing content for me, I experimented with it a bit last year on YouTube, on Instagram. I deleted it all because basically like I wanted to see, okay, is there an angle I can do this where I actually like it? But I think I'm getting closer to that answer. And that's just for me. But like you say, like it's being good isn't enough anymore. And it made me think also that like a lot of these artists, since they can just throw their stuff out there, they don't necessarily have to get peer reviewed, or they don't have to have someone in a studio tell them, hey man, your stuff is actually whack. Not only is everyone else doing this, but they're doing it better than you. And you know what? I'm not saying that because like if you're doing this as a hobby and you love it, that's great. But if you want to make a career, you have to get used to people telling you no. You have to get used to people telling you that this
constructive criticism.
There's issues with this, and there's a lot of artists I want to say that to, but who am I? Like who am I to say that? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I think one of my biggest
you suck. That's funny as fuck.
One of my biggest pet peeves, and this is going back to what we were saying about like running a business but trying to be there for the community at the same time. It's a hard balance, but one of my biggest pet peeves, and I'll say this to anybody that I'm working with, I've said it honestly to a lot of people. One of my biggest pet peeves is artists who say that they want to do music full time, or they want to do it professionally. They want to do it as a career, but then they don't want to do the things that make it a career. I don't want to charge people because whatever. Oh, I'm just not comfortable with that. Oh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to,
right.
Or they don't want the peer review. They just want to, I just want to put it out like, I finished my song. I'm just going to put it out like next week, like whatever, like
no content.
Like no plan, no business strategy, no whatever. And like, we're all guilty of it at the end of the day. I get it.
Sure.
I guess music does run on vibes. Like I get that. I understand that. But if you say that you want to do it professionally, you say you want to do it as a career, then you have to do the career things. And the career things are not the fun things. It's the paperwork, it's the registrations, it's making sure your stuff is distributed properly, correctly, making sure you have a business plan in order. Everybody's business plan can be different. I'm not sitting here saying, hey, for you to put out a single, you have to have this whole crazy mapped out whatever.
Right.
It could be simple as I'm going to drop I have these 4 songs, and I'm going to drop one a month consistently. While I'm working on those 4, I'm going to work on 2 more. That's going to give me 6 out of the 12 months covered. Then I'm going to backtrack and I'm going to do a video with 3 reels each. Video, 3, whatever it is, whatever your plan is, I don't care. But the amount of times I get people who are like wanting to do something professionally in the studio and then not doing the extra stuff that goes along with it, like the marketing and the budgeting and the, creating a plan for it. It's like, do you actually want to do it professionally, or is it just a hobby? And it's cool if it's a hobby. I'm not judging anybody. If you want to go in the studio, you want to dump a bunch of money into your record and release it and just do it for fun, that's totally chill. But if you're saying you want to do it as a career, then you got to do the career things, and that involves a business plan, a marketing plan, hiring people, paying for things. It's a big thing. So
Shout out.
I wanted to ask you also, do you have any passions or hobbies outside of music that you're interested in?
Yeah, I do a few things. A lot of it does revolve around music because it's kind of like, it's adjacent to my job. So it's like if I'm not working with clients directly, I'll be like working with some of the homies and making beats or writing stuff. But my main hobbies would just be like, I'm a pretty simple man, so I like to play a good video game. Lately, I haven't had as much time as I'd like. It's kind of hard. It's like sometimes with these online video games, it's like you need to invest time, and I'm just like, get home from work, I'm just tired. I'm like, just lay down and chill out. But yeah, no, I play video games. I play some online with my friends and stuff, and whatever. But and then I also recently have gotten, well, not recent, but I guess a little more involved in actually Pokemon card collecting.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, been doing that for about 3 years, give or take. But yeah, I just recently got into doing some of that and just like buying and selling and stuff. So I'm actually going to be doing a table on May 3rd. I'll be shooting some content for it and slanging cards. So Delta Path TCG, give me a follow. Check out the journey.
Wait, wasn't it like Jake Paul who just like had like the world
Logan Paul. He just sold a first edition. I don't know if it's first edition,
Charizard,
but it's an Illustrator card. It's called, and it's $16 million.
I was like, God damn.
It was a card that was given out to, what's the backstory on it? The reason why it's so rare is because there was only like very, very small amount, and it was given out to kids in Japan who won a contest for creating a Pokemon artwork.
Oh wow!
And so they got this card, and it's called the Illustrator card, and it's all in Japanese, but the text basically just says like you're a verified Pokemon artist or illustrator. Yeah, exactly. And so it's very rare. There's not many. And then it got graded as a 10, meaning it's like a perfect card, like no damage. The artwork's nice and centered and stuff. So it's like the only PSA 10 in the world or something like that. But then you add in the fact that it's Logan Paul. He put it in a gold chain, and that's part of the sale. And he like wore it at WrestleMania and like all these big like events. So now it's got this like clout behind it. So yeah, he put it up for auction and it went for 16 million. He bought it for 5, sold it for 16.
Yeah, that's.
So it's pretty lucrative. I don't got no $5 million cards in my table,
cool.
but
not yet.
Yeah, no, not yet. But
I actually was super into Magic the Gathering like a few years ago. Like,
yeah, I play Magic as well with my cousin.
So much.
I'll play with my cousin. He actually started making his own card game. Shout out Esoterra.
Yeah. I couldn't afford like to make actual decks because I was too obsessed. So I actually just got Arena, like the computer version where I could just curate all my decks without having to like spend a dime.
Oh
and
man,
it's satisfied me.
I have no idea what they're talking about.
Some white boy shit.
No, those cards, bro. These card hobbies are nuts, bro. It's like if you were trying to like collect, like so they do.
They're expensive
with Pokemon card collecting. I mean, I'm sure it happens in other games too, but there's something it's called a master set, and what it is when people try to get one of each. Like when the set drops, it's like 200 cards or something with different, the art and the Pokemon that they choose. And when somebody's master setting, they're trying to get one of every card. Right. And like the market is just insane. Like you look at, it'll show you on like a new set, and like some of the new sets, if you wanted to actually master set it, it's like gonna cost you like $5,000. Like it's just to actually get the cards, because some of these cards are coming out, and when they're fresh out of the pack, like not even graded, they're like $1,000 a card. Yeah. It's just I don't know what it is. People just love it. People love it. It's exclusive. You only it only drops once or twice, Yeah.
Right.
And then they're on to the new set. So
did you know that Post Malone bought a Magic card for like $2.6 million?
Yeah.
You hear about that?
Yeah.
The One Ring.
Yeah. And it's like it's a one of one, right? Like it's the only. I think it's the only one.
They released a bunch of One Rings, but that specific One Ring was a unique One Ring.
It's in Elvish, I think. It's actually written in the Elvish, like from the.
Yeah, and so he changed.
YBK's like, what the?
So lost.
He changed someo's life. Well, now you know Post Malone's a Magic nerd.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know what Magic is, bro. Like,
it's a card. Yeah.
We'll show you. We'll show you after. We'll play. One of these days we'll play.
See, when I play video games, I play like on PlayStation. I've played PlayStation my whole life.
What do you
play? I love sport games, but I also like adventure games. And some
Are you playing anything right now?
Oh yeah. So growing up, I the first games I played were FIFA. Okay. And God of War and Assassin's Creed. I still play all 3 of those. Yeah. But now I play more games too. Like I also play like 2K and Madden. But I've gone into like GTA and gone into some other games. I'm playing Hogwarts right now. The Harry Potter game.
Looks sick.
Yeah.
My fiance plays that. I was playing it for a while too, but I kind of like got a little bit like lost on it. Not lost, but I got a little bored. Like I was having a lot of fun, but it just started feeling maybe a little repetitive for me. So I was kind of like, once I saw all the things and got a lot of the cool new stuff, I was kind of just like, I don't know if I need to beat it.
But like I like the open world though, because there's a lot of like mini missions you could do.
The universe is just so rich. There's so much cool stuff you can run into. I like games like that too.
Yeah. So I play PlayStation games. So
see, I'm an Xbox guy. I've always been an Xbox. Well, whatever. I'll probably have to come over to PlayStation anyway. And apparently, Xbox is not.
Xbox
they're going down apparently.
Yeah, bro.
So I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, bro.
I just play a lot of like random indie games on like Game Pass. So it's like free. It's not free. It's a subscription, but it's there's like a bunch of games. So I play like all types of these different indie games. Some like card style games like Slay the Spire or like Inscription. These are like they're like card building game, like deck building. So it's like you play.
Well, so explain to me this card games. Like, what's the what makes like a deck different? Like, what makes a game different? Like, what's different about the different games? You know what I mean?
Well, it's kind of like if we're talking like Magic, for example. We'll just use that as an example. You'll build a deck of like. There's rules to how you build it. Like it has to either be the like certain color or like the cards have to match. Like you need. Okay. There's a bunch of rules behind it. We'll skip over that. But basically, you're gonna build a deck full of like. Did you ever watch like when you were a kid like Yu-Gi-Oh or anything like that?
Yes, I love Yu-Gi-Oh.
So it's like it's the same idea, right? Like Yu-Gi has a deck that has a certain kind of style to it, and then Kaiba has a deck that has dragons and whatever. So it's like that's how it is with Magic. It's like you'll build a deck that's like based around. Whatever zombies or I don't know, and then I'll build something based around
wizards,
dragons or something, and then we play against each other, and then we try to.
That's actually kind of dope.
I try to beat you, you try to beat me, and so half the fun is building the decks because you're like. There's themes to it, and there's like
there's like infinite possibility. Like you can build
whatever.
That's really dope.
Anything you can think of, and like cards have certain chemistries with each other, so that you can pop off a combo that's like really satisfying and crazy.
A modern version I could think of is like Clash Royale. Have you ever played that?
No, I played a little bit of Clash of Clans when it like first came out, but that was it.
I still play Clash of Clans.
Like,
but like Clash Royale, it's the same thing. You build decks,
yeah,
right, and then you like fight against other people.
And then that's it. That's what makes it fun, because then you built it yourself,
right?
You know, it's not just like Monopoly where you just play the game. It's like you have to build what you're playing with, and then you play it. So Pokemon, same thing. Like there's like two different categories. There's people who actually play it, because there's a game to it,
right?
And then there's people who collect, like me. I'm just more for like the artwork and like that kind of stuff.
Cool.
But it's the same thing. It's like with Pokemon, you might be like, I'm a fire type and I use these kinds, and then you use this kind.
Okay,
and then
that
play
actually
against
sounds
each other,
really dope.
Yeah, so it's half the fun is playing it, but then also building your deck and trying it against someone else. So. Yeah, there's like video games that are kind of like that style as well, where I'll do like, they're called deck building, and it's the same, kind of like Clash Royale. It's like that. So I play some indie games on Xbox like that. I play a lot of like easier to play games because I don't have as much time as I used to. So I play like Rocket League or Fortnite sometimes.
Yeah, more
or like
casual.
Just stuff I can just jump into real quick with the homies and then bounce. You know,
I might actually have to check out some of those card games because that actually sounds dope.
Man. Man.
Bro, growing up, I loved Yu-Gi-Oh. I loved like Beyblade. You know, I love shit like that. Yeah. That's dope.
Yeah.
Okay. That's dope.
Well, there you go. Maybe we'll get you. Maybe we'll play some.
Maybe
some Magic. Maybe next time.
Yeah, bro. You might convert me yet.
Yeah. Let's get it.
Was anyone else really into Pokemon Go when it came out? I got super obsessed with Pokemon Go.
I played a little bit.
Yeah.
But I didn't have to. And then I kind of found myself like trying to do it when I was driving and stuff. And I was like, you're not supposed to, but
I have a pretty.
Don't do this at home.
Everyone who's played Pokemon Go has done it while they're driving. Don't lie. Don't lie.
Sure, yeah.
I have a pretty strong Pokemon Go account. That's like kind of embarrassingly.
Really? Yeah. Did you know about the starter? The starter trick? Did you ever hear about that?
No.
I did it because I don't know if it was because you probably played when it began.
In the early days,
yeah. So like how when you first start out, there's like 3
color?
Pokeballs around you, right?
Oh.
Right, and you can get your starter, your first one, right? And it would be like Squirtle, Charmander, or Bulbasaur.
There's a bug, yeah.
Do you remember doing that?
I actually don't.
Yeah.
I probably did, but I don't remember.
I mean, if you have a huge account, you probably are. That's your like
starter,
like nah, bro. But no, so apparently, like, and I did this actually. When you start, it'll have like 3 Pokeballs around you, and you just walk to whichever one, and that's how you get your starter, your first Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
But if you actually walk past and keep going till the point that the Pokeballs are like disappear, another one will pop up.
Oh.
And it's a Pikachu.
Oh, damn.
And you can get a Pikachu as your starter, like Ash in the show, right? How he had a Pikachu instead of the 3 starters or whatever. So I did that, and I actually got it. I was like, oh, this is pretty sick.
All right.
And then so I was playing a little bit, but then I was just like, I was kind of late to the party, so it's like I would go to like a gym or whatever, and it would just be like some crazy strong Pokemon defending, and I was just like, bro, I'm not even trying this. Like I just gave up after a while because it just felt like it was too far ahead for me to get any dubs, you know.
Right.
So but I played
fair.
it. I played it a little bit for sure.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'm a PC gamer.
Oh, see, I want to be a PC gamer. It's just so expensive to get one. And build it.
Yeah. Now that I got my PC like 10 years ago and I've upgraded it, it's like I can just let it sit for a long time and not have to worry about it because I started a long time ago. But
there's such good like indie games that are like cheap and really interesting looking that are on like PC that aren't on console.
Yeah, like right now I'm playing Stardew Valley. That's an indie game.
Yeah.
That was developed by one dude for like 6 years. If anyone's playing Stardew Valley, let me know. Let's nerd out.
Let's nerd out.
It's a really like nerdy, peaceful game that's casual, which is like you're saying, like sometimes we just need casual games when our mind is so like has to do so much throughout our week that we can't focus on like an intense like
just decompress.
I tried to play. I mean, maybe you can decompress in this game. I feel like you probably can pretty well. But I've tried to play Red Dead Redemption 2
I love that game.
6 times. I've tried to play it like so many times, and it's just I feel like I need. Like anytime I play it, I'm like, well, I have to be here for like 3 hours. Like this is such a deep game. Like the lore, the just doing a task is like very long, and it's like nice because it's immersive and it feels cool. But it's just like, man, sometimes I just don't have the brain power for 3 hours of just hard grinding, you know. But I can sit on Fortnite and dick around the whole time and just not have to think too hard and just run and shoot and do the thing and you know, I don't know. So
that's exactly how I feel about playing sport games. Like I play sport games where I don't want to think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And everything else, I'm like, I actually want to like be engaged and like
sport games though, man. Like I like sport games, but I get sweaty, bro. Like they're an investment. Like it's tough. Like I remember when I used to live with a roommate, and me and him had a season in 2K NBA.
Yeah.
And we had a season, and like it was stressful. I felt like an athlete for real. He's like, hey, yo, he's like, your game is tonight, bro. He's like, you got to play or else I can't get in. I'm like, hurry up. I'm like, oh, my God. I'm like, I just want to chill.
Yeah, bro,
you know, I don't want to game tonight, so I have to game. And then and then you get in the playoffs and you're just down by 2 points. And you're like standing up in front of the TV. You're like, oh, my God. Like, or like fighting games, bro. They're so I get mad, bro. Like fighting games. Because it's like not only did you just lose, you just got knocked out. And you're like, it just hurts. You're like, what? Like you just get so pissed.
Yeah, some folks who take that shit so seriously,
no,
bro. Like
it's crazy.
if you play like MK, like Mortal Kombat or like UFC, and like they know all the combinations, and there's nothing you can do. Like you just take it like a good boy.
Yeah, it feels it's like losing in a game. Like if I lose in Fortnite, it's like it pisses me off, sure, but I'm like, whatever, I lost, geez, that sucks. But like losing in sports or a fighting game is like an extra, like it's extra embarrassing.
Yeah.
I don't get to feel that. I play a lot of solo games. So
just get some friends, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's like you guys with FIFA. I don't understand it. When I see you guys play FIFA, I'm just like, oh,
soccer's fun to play. It's just hard to get good at it. Some of the mechanics.
I've been playing FIFA since I was like 7 years old.
Yeah, and people go hardcore at FIFA, man. I've watched people play FIFA. They get
I used to play,
sports game, people get
yeah, bro. I used to play in competitions and stuff, like when money's on the line, and it's like, Did
you ever win?
Oh, yeah, I used to be really good.
Oh, damn, okay.
Good. Yeah, I used to.
Yo, shout out my boy Paulie. You're gonna have to play YBK. He's he plays. Well, I guess isn't it called what's it? FC?
No, it's called
FC 26 or whatever. Yeah, football club.
I got that one. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Shit. Nah, me and my homies, that's all we play majority of the time. Like when we link up in person, we're either playing FIFA or chess.
Chess.
Yeah,
it's
nice. Either one or the other.
Nice.
I don't know. It's just
dope. Do you do actual moves in chess, or do you just have fun with it? Well, I know there's like this opening
like a
and
Queen's
this
Gambit. Yeah. I'm not a tryhard at chess, but I have friends who are tryhards. Yeah. So that makes me like.
Now you have to. Or
Exactly. Exactly. I'm like I'm at home watching videos and stuff. And I'm like, bro, why am I doing this? Bro. But I just got tired of losing, man.
No, I feel that. That's like how I feel when I play Magic against my cousin. I'm like, hey, well, I gotta go hit Fusion and buy some expensive cards because he's just whooping my ass right now.
He's getting the ass whooping.
Yeah, straight up.
Man, shit, yo, it's been so blessed, man, to have you on the podcast, man. It's been a great conversation.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Man, this was dope, man. Yeah, I feel like I know you a little bit better now.
Nice.
Yeah, for real.
That's fine. Sweet. We're gonna wrap it up, and we always when we end the podcast, we like to end it with some rapid fires.
Okay.
Question.
Okay.
Try not to think about it so much.
Okay.
Just go for it now. Yeah, Austin will ask them questions.
Yeah. Right. I guess we'll wrap up the segment with some rapid fires that we came up with here. Okay. So what do we got? We got I'm gonna cut this out, but this is a question we already asked when we did the side stage. We already asked this question.
But we're not getting enough.
I know. I didn't want to say it. But like, a part of my heart still hopes we'll get it. But yeah, let's go. Let's just do it.
You gotta, bro. We're never getting that.
I'm not letting go, man. I'm not.
We gotta cut our losses.
Okay,
with that.
so we're gonna ask that question.
I respect the optimism.
Yeah. So studio session or live performance?
Live performance.
Okay. Yeah, I think I would agree with that too. Old school hip hop or new school?
Oh, that's a tough one, but old school.
Okay. Yeah, like let's discuss these a little bit. Like for me, I love the old school vibe, but I love the new school ingenuity, you know what I mean? Yeah. And like mashing up with new genres. I think I'm definitely more new school.
Man, there was this rapper that was saying like old school rap was all wash and dookie water and what was it?
I guess it depends on what you classify as old school too. Like if you're talking like 80s and like early 90s, I would probably say new school then. But if we're talking like 80s, 90s, 2000s, I would say old school.
Yeah,
but if you could consider anything, because even so, 2000s is like 20 years ago. I think that's in a genre of hip hop that's only 40 years old.
I think early 2000s is still old school. Yeah.
Yeah. So then, if that's the case, then I would say old school, because early 2000s is when. Late 90s to early 2000s is when they really started to push the envelope and try and they started experimenting and stuff.
Yeah,
and digital stuff became
popular. The more
popular
that I think about it, actually, Eminem, Lil Wayne, like J. Cole, like what they were doing in that era was...
Bro, Queen Latifah, the Wu-Tang.
See, like that's like where you get like more in like the old school. That's like the golden era almost. So if you were only keeping it at that, I would say new school. But if you're considering all of that in one, like... I don't listen to anything that's from like the 80s. I don't really consider, not that I don't consider it. I just don't care so much about that sound. But I do listen to a lot from like the 90s. Early 2000s is my favorite, but that's also probably because that's what I grew up on. But I do like a lot of the new school stuff too. Like, don't get me wrong at all. It's basically exactly what you said. It's like I like old school for the vibe of it, the some of the, not to say the creativity, I think that's the wrong word, but I just think that some of it was very interesting and a lot of weird risks were being taken. But nowadays people are taking huge risks too, combining genres and trying really, like, things are really innovative nowadays too. So there's things I like of each, but if I had to pick one, old school.
Man, I think for me it's I might have to go old school. When I say old school, bro, I'm saying like the 80s and the 90s, bro.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, man, because like
like the golden
music
era.
just felt a lot more like authentic. You know what I mean? Where it's like everyone didn't sound the same. You know what I mean?
And that's kind of what I'm getting at too. Like, you know, like everyone, like you heard someone and you're like, you know exactly who that is. You know what I mean? Like, and I think like the rhyme schemes, like, and like just the approach to music was just like a lot more authentic. So like the individual's experience, you know what I mean, as a person,
rather than like things that get clouded, like the clout or like the money or like the image.
Literally, people just rap for clout, like, or like people just make music like that they think is gonna get them clout. You know what I mean?
And I think it's maybe like, I think it's fair to say that in all generations, that's a thing. It just looks different in different generations and stuff. But if you're looking at maybe more of like generalized, like I don't know if like statistics is the right word, but like statistically speaking, there's probably more people, because it's just, again, it's more accessible. So you're going to get more people who are doing it just for the wrong reasons. Whereas in the 80s or 90s, it's like you had to really pay for it or really know somebody or really be connected to even get in that room in the first place. So that's why the ratio was probably a lot different. But at the end of the day, there's bad music in every generation. So you could take something from the 80s that's super whack and be like, you think this is the best? It's like, well, I could do that too if I take something that's really bad from right now. Like, it's just, there's always bad music and bad art, but it's all subjective anyway, so it doesn't even
facts
even matter, right? So you could pull from any generation and be like, see how whack this generation is? It's like, well, okay,
facts,
but what if I take this from this generation and compare it to that? It's, you know,
facts.
So
facts.
Yeah, next question. Okay. If you weren't doing music, what would you be doing, do you think?
If I wasn't doing music, I would probably be, I don't know what it's called, but I weirdly have this thing where I have sort of a fascination with like muscles, like in the body, like like how your muscles work.
Right.
Yeah, so like, I think if I had a different career, it would be like a whatever that is, like a kinesiologist or whatever.
Sport therapy.
Or like physical therapy, like something in that. I've always been fascinated with how the muscles work, especially just like even in the gym and stuff. And then you get like sore and just like, why does that happen? And where is these? Oh, the bicep is actually this many muscles together, and the fibers run that way. Like I've always weirdly had an obsession with that.
That's cool.
So maybe that, or if not, some type of content creation. Like I'd be probably into like YouTube, like streaming gaming, or like, or the Pokemon thing, or like whatever. I just like nerdy shit, so I'd be down to do something like that, or be like a blogger of like, you know, top 10 new games coming out this year, or something, you know, whatever. Like I'd be down to be one of those guys, or the complete opposite, you know, muscular therapy or whatever that's called.
Fire.
Or a chef, actually. That's another thing that I thought was pretty cool.
You like chefing up?
Well, I try. I'm not no Travis T or nothing, but you know what I mean.
Shout out Travis
T.
I
try. I chef up a little bit, and that was actually something I was kind of thinking. I was like, maybe I'll go to culinary school. I don't know, so I don't know. I just kind of like some random things. I don't know.
Nah, I enjoy cooking, bro.
Like, cooking is cool.
Yeah.
Like especially when you do it well and you make something nice and you're like, oh yeah. I just hate the cooking. You spend so long cooking and then you just to eat so fast and now I gotta clean it all up and it's so annoying.
Facts.
Yeah, it's better if you're cooking with someone too. For sure. Do you have a particular pet peeve that you want to share?
Particular pet peeve. Not that I can think of off the top of my head. I'm sure, I complain a lot about people driving.
Yeah, dude.
Not using a signal, okay? Like, I
don't
know when you're turning, bro. Like, cutting people off, not shoulder checking. Like, bad drivers. Bad drivers piss me off.
Yeah.
People in Winnipeg are either too timid or too aggressive. There's never like a nice in between. So that pisses me off.
Yeah.
Kind of the artist thing, like I said before, where artists are like, I want to do it full time, but they don't want to do the actual
work.
Not to say they don't want to do the work, but they just want to make the music. And it's like, that's cool, but that's literally half the job. That's like half of the job. You know what I'm saying? It's there's so much more to it if you want to actually do it as a profession.
The driving is hella relatable. I need to explain to everyone something right now. When it snows, but it's not slippery or icy, the speed limit doesn't change. You can still drive the fucking speed limit.
This is true.
When it's snowing, as long as it's not icy. Make the distinction.
And get winter tires.
Yes.
If you're driving a car in a Winnipeg winter and you don't have winter tires, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
I had my Karen moment.
Yeah.
Just get some.
This
winter
message
tires,
is sponsored by
AutoPack.
The Safe Drivers Association of Manitoba. Okay. Was there like a particular first artist that you listened to that really stood out to you, that sort of inspired you? Like, what's your earliest memories of
50 Cent?
All right.
That's my dog.
Yeah.
That's my guy. Eminem too was big, and not to be like super cheese or corny, but I didn't realize he was a white guy. And then when I found out he was white, I was like,
okay,
maybe then. I was like, I honestly, that's why I know, like, I know that representation is actually, you hear about this all the time in pop culture today of representation, and people get so annoyed. They're like, oh, they're just without getting all political to the left, they're just conforming. It's like, I believe that representation is important, because literally, even for myself, a white dude being like, I was like, I can't really, like, I remember having that thought. I was like, I don't think I can rap. Like, I'm just not, even if I like it, I think people will just think it's weird. And then I remember being like, but like Eminem does it, so I guess I could do it too. Right. Like, you know what I mean? Like, representation is very important.
Shout out, man.
But amen. But 50 was like I loved Eminem too. I mean, still do, whatever. But like, and I always loved his stuff coming up. Right. But 50 was always my guy. That was like, and he still is to this day. That's my, like, I don't care. People can hate on his music or say he wasn't a great rapper. He's my number one for sure. And I could debate it for a long time.
That's what's up.
So I think 50 was he was like the first one that I actually got like really obsessed with.
Yeah.
And, like,
did you ever like own any like G Unit like
that was the first
merch?
The first CD I ever bought was the Get Rich or Die Trying, 50's debut album. That was the first CD I bought in grade 6, I remember. But who knows? It's so funny because I remember like how influential you are, like easily influenced you are as a kid. I remember like rock was like really cool and stuff, and like I had a pretty wide taste in music because my dad would play like lots of different, all different genres: rock, Latin, pop, rap. He had all types of stuff, and he would just play it randomly in his car. And I remember one day at school, one kid, he was like a popular kid, and he's like, yeah, we're not really listening to rock anymore. It's all about rap. And I was like, oh, bet. And I mean, I guess we weren't saying that then, but I was like, okay, cool. And then I remember going to the mall like that weekend or whatever with my mom, and I was like, I want to get a rap CD. And so then I went to HMV, and I didn't know, because also too, it's like in that era growing up, it's like Google wasn't even Google yet. Like it was there, but it wasn't like how it is now. And there wasn't like YouTube tutorials and like find anything you need at any time. Like you still had to dig through it, and it was kind of janky. Yeah. So I didn't know nothing about any kind of rap. Like I don't even think at that point Instagram was definitely not around. Yeah. But yeah, so I had no idea about music. I just all I knew was what I knew from like my family and what I see on TV, right?
So like, how old were you roughly?
This would have been 12, 11 probably.
Yeah.
And I was just, we went to HMV and I was like, yeah, I want to get a rap CD. And they're like, what do you want? And I'm like, I don't know. They're like, okay, well, like this is like the number one right now. Like this is what is our hottest seller. And I was like, and I remember you could back then, you could actually take the CD and listen to it in the store a little bit. And I remember just listening to it. And I remember What Up Gangsta came on right at the very beginning. What up, what up, gangsta? And I was just like, this is cool. I'm like, all right, this is cool. Some little white boy from the south side. I'm like, yeah. And I bought it, and my mom was there, and she's like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah. My mom's super chill, though. She was always hella cool about that stuff. But I remember when I drove home, I put it in the car, and she was listening with me, and she's like, are you sure? I don't know if you should be listening to this. I'm like, no, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's all good. And and then that was it. And then so I became obsessed with that CD, and then that's when I started researching and doing my digging online and going on LimeWire and finding all these weird remixes and stuff. And yeah,
that's fire. Yeah. Have you ever heard of a guy named Quake? He runs Diverse Mentality podcast. Quake, like an earthquake.
No.
Oh man, I think you rock with him a lot, man. Like he's the biggest 50 fan, man.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and like he has like a whole he runs like a whole media company. He does podcasts, documentaries, and all that stuff. I think you'd relate a lot to him.
Probably. If he's a 50 fan. Yeah, 50 I just find is just a great storyteller. I do think he's actually a really good rapper. Like, sure, he's not as complex as like, a Method Man or somebody who's crazy with the bars, but his storytelling was just like,
fast.
I think like Tupac level. Like honestly, the way he would tell stories of like what he'd been through and like those sort of things. Like it was some next level stuff. And hip hop is huge with storytelling. So Many Men is like one of my favorite songs of all time. Yeah, across all genres.
I think Many Men is one of rap's greatest songs of all time.
Easily, and you can debate it. Like there's other songs that you could be like, well, what about this? What about this? It's like, sure,
pull up the numbers.
But you can put the the way I look at it is, there's a conversation to be had. Yeah. Whether you agree or you don't. Yeah. Or you think it's silly, it's like I could say a few things, and you might be like, yeah, true. You know, and that's how I know that it at least is up there.
Exactly.
It can hold its weight against some other songs.
When you look at like cultural impact, when you look about the sale numbers, you know what I mean? Like when you look at longevity. Right, like all of those three things.
The storytelling, the music, the writing itself, like it's just all of it. Like there's so much that you could talk about and be like, well, what about this? What about that? What about this? And people be like, well, I guess so. So
like it's one of the most recognized rap songs of all time.
Yeah, it's up there for sure. Yeah. It's a big song.
Yeah.
The earliest, when I was 8 or 9 years old, the earliest hip hop song I ever remember hearing was "Without Me" by Eminem on the radio.
That was one of the first ones I like memorized.
Came out in 2002, and I didn't know what hip hop was. I didn't know, and I heard it, and it was like the experience was just so like, you know what I mean? You're like, what is this? Like you've never heard you've never heard a genre, and then you hear a song from that genre, and it's "Without Me" by Eminem. It's just like,
for real.
You know, it was, and then ever since then, the rest is history. I was just like, hey, this is the best genre in music of all time. And
I remember hearing a lot of like Jay-Z, Biggie, Tupac, and stuff, but not knowing who they were. I had no idea, right? Because it wasn't as easy as just jump on Instagram and look them up, or Google or Spotify or any of that, right? Like it wasn't like that yet. And even then, it's like you'd be listening to something on the radio and it would pop up, but you would get out of you're a kid, so you're going to the grocery store with your dad or something, so it's like now you got to get out of the car before they tell you what song it is. And sometimes they don't even tell you what song it is. So you're like, I don't know, like Shazam doesn't exist. Like these smartphones don't exist. It's like, it was a bit of a different era. It's like, I'm not like super crazy old, but this is early 2000s before when, flip phones were still a thing. Like, you know what I mean?
Blackberries.
So it's like, this is before that era of being able to access things super easily. So it was harder to hear something you like and find more of that. Right. Now it's like, everybody's just going to send you a Spotify link, be like, check out this artist, and you're like, cool, and then you just do a deep dive on all their stuff, right? It's people hate on Spotify and streaming and all that, but it's a gift and a curse.
Exactly,
as most things,
do
we have any more?
I think we'll ask one more just so that we don't go too late here. But let's ask this.
Why don't you the one who wanted to go like 2 hours?
Well, I'm doing this for you, brother. If you want to go for 3 hours, let's go for 3 hours. All right. No, I'm just kidding. Let's ask this one. What was your most embarrassing stage moment or experience?
Oh God!
I have
this
some
too.
I have some too, and maybe you have some that you want to share.
Oh man. Yeah, I've had a few. And you know what? It's just what you learn and stuff. You just learn and you grow from it. I've had a few moments. It's kind of, I wish it was like more like cool embarrassing, but it's like not, because it's literally just like from like drinking too much and then going on stage. I've had a couple times where I've like fallen over or like slurred my words or like
I think that's cool. No,
just, I mean, depends, but that's what I mean. I wish it was like more like, yeah, I was at this show and some crazy shit happened. It's like, that I could actually be like, it was kind of crazy, but it's not. It's like, oh, I did a backflip and broke my leg. Like, no, it's like, no, I was just drunk as shit and made an ass of myself on stage.
Yeah.
Like I've watched footage back and I'm just like, slurring my words and not talking properly and just like,
but the whole crowd was like,
no. They're like, what the hell is this guy doing? Like, I would kill the verses though. Like when I got on I could rap it, but then once it was like time to talk to the crowd, I'd be like, yo, just saying dumb shit that like doesn't make sense, or it's just clearly like, hey, this guy's clearly way too drunk to be here right now. So now before shows, I'll still drink. I'll have a little bit of whatever, but I like, that's when I was in my like early 20s and you're just like, you're just happy to be there. So I'm getting lit. I'm doing shots. I'm drinking a bunch of drinks and then I'm going on stage with a drink and like, you feel like a superstar. And after a couple of those shows, I started being like, maybe I don't need to drink as much. I just don't drink as much as I used to, period. So I just, I like to party. I still do. But like when it comes to shows, I just don't want to. I want to feel like I'm in control and not lose control, especially with DJing too. There's so many freaking buttons. I can't even be drunk. There's too many buttons. I'll lose track of what the heck I'm doing. But like one time I smoked and got like a little too high beforehand, and I was just like, whoa, this is a lot. And I'm like looking at the crowd. I'm like, should I say something? Am I supposed to? I was like, I guess I'll just play music. Like I know I have a mic here, but like maybe later. I don't know. And so exactly. I try to be at least a little like, like I said, I'll maybe have a little drink or a little whatever before, but I'm not getting like lit before stage. If I feel like it, I'll do it after. But beforehand, I'll have a drink, maybe two. Sort of depends on how long the day is, and then I just hit the stage and at least maybe I have a little buzz or something, but just a tiny thing. So, but I've fallen on my ass a couple times. I've slurred my speech to the point where people are like, "This guy probably shouldn't be on stage." Like,
that's fair.
I've had a few of those, so but lesson learned.
That's not that bad. That's okay.
It feels a lot worse when it happens. You see it later and you're like, oh, I just made an idiot of myself. But it's like, whatever. It is what it is. There's a lot of, like we were saying, there's worse things that could happen on stage.
Yeah, so. I thought you were gonna say like you threw up or something.
No. That's what I mean. It's like I wish it was. I almost feel like that'd be more hilarious. Like I was on stage and I just freaking threw up
on
the
microphone that everyone has to use.
The crowd.
That would be like. I do have one other cool one. It's kind of interesting. It's not like embarrassing by any means. I think it's actually kind of badass, and that's why I want to share it. But long story short, I actually got bit by not on stage, but I got bit by a dog.
Damn.
Before I was supposed to do a show, and before I was about to go on a trip, it was this whole thing. It was an overseas trip, so it was like doctors were it was a bad experience because it got like it started getting like infected, like not like bad, but it was gonna get like. It was like I started having like a red line in your arm, which is like could go to the heart and then go in your blood, and it gets really bad. So I was like, ooh. So it got pretty rough. And I was going back and forth to doctors and whatever in the emergency room and everything. And then when they actually saw me, they're like, oh yeah, no, you need like IV like to clear this up. And I was like, okay. So they put an IV in me, in my arm, and then they actually have it where. Depending on if you're not, I guess it sort of depends on the case, but they let me leave. So the IV, like not the actual tube with the stuff going in, but the needle, it's like rubber now. It's not like metal, so it's like it's rubber, so it could stay in there and you can move around, and it's not gonna do anything nasty in there. Okay. So I had the open IV with the tape around it in my arm.
Damn.
And went and did a show later on, and it was a halves show. And I was like, I guess I'm going to wear a hoodie. Like, I don't want to like go and have like an IV in my arm and then be like, what the hell's wrong with this guy? Why is he here? Like, so that was kind of it wasn't embarrassing, but it was a pretty badass moment. I was like, damn, I'm on stage here, fresh out the hospital. Like,
it's gangster.
Yeah.
Just got shot.
That's that was like my 50, that was my 50 moment. You know, I'm like out the hospital, like oh my arm, man, like and you know, and I was in pain and stuff because I still wasn't healed yet, but it was a pretty crazy moment. Yeah, so I was performing with like an IV in my arm. I remember I was like doing, my arm was kind of like this, and I just had to like keep it sort of down because I couldn't like move it too much, and so that was a pretty weird one.
It's funny as fuck.
Yeah, I guess we're just about ready to wrap up here.
Well, you weren't gonna share one?
Yeah, you gotta share one. You both gotta share one.
Oh, shit.
Mine aren't that deep. Like I've forgotten lyrics. Everyone's done that.
Oh yeah.
I've had the power go out in the middle of my set. Like it's been things out of my control.
That's crazy.
Which is embarrassing. Which is still embarrassing though.
Yeah.
It's like you're trying to do your thing and then the power goes out. It's like, oh well, what are we doing now? It's like mid song too, right? It's so sudden and you're just like in the zone and then you're like,
you gotta acapella that shit.
But one of the worst ones was I was doing a set at the Bulldog and the DJ there, through no fault of his own, right? The DJs, they don't know your songs, but for some reason he was playing my song at like a way faster BPM.
Oh, and I've done that.
I was at that show.
Yeah, I've done that.
I was at that show.
You were at that show?
I was at that show.
That was so awkward, dude, because I started doing the song and I felt like something was off. But it wasn't like, it wasn't double. It was like maybe 20 or 30. But that's still enough. When you do breath control and you do writing, you know that your song has to be a certain BPM, right? And then I started doing it, and then I had to stop and be like, bro, I had to be like BPM. And then he looked and he was like, oh. And then
because he was probably tempo matching his other tracks or whatever.
With other tracks. And then I was like, damn. And that really sucked because it was a vulnerable, deep song, too. Like, it was not like a fun song. It was like something that was supposed to capture the audience's engagement.
Oh, that's tough.
So that sucked. But, you know, like, worse things could have happened, and, you know, you get over it pretty quick.
Funny story, actually, not to take, like, credit, but I know that the origin of, so Sleepy Zay, he has his song, Why Not? Like you probably heard at like live shows and stuff. And he has two versions. He has a sped up version as well. That actually came by accident because we were doing a show and I was DJing, and exactly that happened. I was matching a different song before he went on, and I forgot to change it. And so when I played his song, it was like super fast. And Sleepy Zay is just a G, and he just went and just did it anyways. And then I was like, after I got on the mic, and I was like, yo, I didn't even like, and we just played it off because it is what it is, and we were both just like, yo, maybe you should just drop that, bro, like whatever. And then he went later and he actually did it. So shout out to Sleepy for actually following through on something that just was like a kind of a happy accident, I guess. And it was super lit though, and like when you hear it, it's like it is pretty cool, and it's kind of a niche thing, you know, like the sped up version or whatever. And that just happened because literally that I was the DJ and I did that. And he didn't stop it though. He just like kept going. And
but it worked.
But then halfway through the set, well, because also it's like it's more of a turn up style. Like it makes sense. And it works.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was fine. But halfway through the song, I look and I'm like, oh crap, this is like plus 15 BPM or something right now, which is a good amount when it comes to music. But I was like, oh, but he's already in the middle of the set, so I guess I'm just gonna leave it.
Like I tried to make it work, but with the vibe of the song,
it only works with certain
it could
stuff.
not
and
work.
Who knows, right? If he was like, he might have been more than like, it might have been even faster. Where it's like,
it was
like,
pretty fast, dude. It was like I have a feeling it was like 20 to 30. Like it was.
Yeah, that's where you're getting into kind of unplayable territory.
It's tough. It's tough. Damn. I don't think I've had experiences like that, man. Shit.
Oh, this guy got a perfect record over here.
Not perfect. Okay. I was doing a show recently, and you know, I had like my playback tracks on a laptop, you know, playing on the laptop, and literally on my last song, the laptop died. Literally on my last song, like
yeah, that's awkward.
Going through the first verse, I didn't even make it through the chorus. So,
that's awkward.
You know, and, but it was cool, bro. Like it was so.
Did you
cool,
just do it a cappella?
I just did it a cappella, bro. Like folks just started.
You got nothing else. There's nothing else you can do at that point. You just gotta show must go on, as they say, right?
Man. Yeah, man. Folks just started clapping on the 214, and you know, I just did a cappella, and I was like, yo, low key, I'm gonna incorporate this into like future shows because this is fire. Like,
it's those kind of
those
are
the
crowds
engaged. You know what I
remember.
mean? Like everyone was having a good time. I was having a a good time. I was like, damn, that was a pleasant surprise. You know
people
what I mean?
people will remember that.
Exactly.
They'll be like, yo, remember when that guy's laptop died? That was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? People
and then, like,
actually remember that
afterwards,
shit.
like, folks coming up to me and like, yo, like, you know, you should do poetry. And I'm like, shit, maybe I should.
Well, you are. It's just poetry with a beat.
Poetry in motion, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah.
All right.
Man,
Then.
it's been so blessed having this conversation. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, much love, my guy, and thanks for tuning in. Catch y'all on the next one.
Yeah, thank you, Vybe Fam, for tuning in. We're really trying to build something here, so we appreciate your support.
Love, peace.
Yes, in the vibes we trust.
In the vibes we trust. Vibes.
Yeah, vibes.